Some more trip report videos, eh? Well, I can't give you an exact one, but I remember back in high school, it was fairly we should be making this video with the fucking rain, huh? Got some time to kill. Yeah, I used to sell acid in high school back in my sophomore year, and well, on Fridays, it was like, for some reason, I guess that's when everybody wanted to fry. So we used to, right? And anyway, the group of us would always meet up, bam, at the bus stop, 8 o'clock in the morning, right, when we got dropped off at first period. And basically, just, I knew some people, talked ahead of time. Other people I didn't. Well, I knew everybody kind of, sort of, but you know what I'm saying? It was always the same group of us, though. Some people were new, but usually it was just the same, like 5 or 6 of us, is what I meant. And, yeah, we would just, people would buy their tabs, and I'd take some of my tabs, and, usually, I usually take probably 2. It was always blotter at the time, white blotter, and, yeah, took 2 tabs, and I was fucking high, and, it was always the funniest thing, because we'd all take it, and, like, some people would be like, do you feel it? Because sometimes it takes a while to kick in, sometimes 30 minutes to an hour, right? But when you're anticipating it, it takes a long time. It feels like a long time. And, I don't know why, because I never had bad acid, so it was like, I never got any bunk shit. It was always the same for like a year and a half. And, yeah, but, people would be like, don't feel it, man, I think it's bunk. People were like, I kind of feel it, I'm not sure. That'd be like through first period, right? Dropped to like, right before first period. I think class was like, 40 minutes long, something like that. It was right around the time when you should start feeling it. That's when we'd see each other, like between first and second period, and that would be like, somebody would be like, I think I'm starting to feel it, man. I'm starting to feel it. And the other guy would be like, I don't feel it yet, man. I think it's fucking bad. And I always knew it was good because I never had any bad ones. And, and I was high too, and, I was getting there too. And, so it's always a transitional period. And then it's like by the end of second period, when we all got out, because we'd have to like meet in the hallway or we cross paths. We didn't always meet up, but like, we crossed. It wasn't, it was a big school, but there's like corridors, right, that we had to go. Anyway, then you look at the guy who was like, I don't feel anything, and he'd be like fucking like this, fucking high. Like he took like, and like I would just laugh, and I can't even imagine that I used to do that, man. I can't imagine now sitting in a fucking class for 40 or 45 minutes, listening to a teacher talk, or teacher expecting me to read something or fill out this test or do this. Fuck that, man. I can't even imagine doing that anymore. Like, but back then I did it for fun. It was just fun because school was so fucking boring that made it fun for me. It made it interesting. And I don't know how the teachers didn't fucking know. I think maybe 1 or 2 of them did, but they either didn't care or they didn't know what to do about it. But yeah, and then we, now, so we're tripping balls during second period, right? So second period, we're tripping balls. By lunchtime, which was like either, I think it was after fourth period, some of us are fourth, some of us are fifth. We had an hour for lunch. Some people could leave campus, some people couldn't. Anyway, the people that couldn't leave campus would have the lunch first, and the people that could leave campus could. I think it was like your juniors and seniors could, but your freshmen and sophomore couldn't. Anyway, so I couldn't leave. I was a sophomore, and we wanted to leave, right? And there's usually always one guy who just couldn't handle his shit and would be like, I'm fucking going home. I'm going home, and it would just take off, right? But the thing is, though, it wasn't an open campus for all of us, so we'd have to run because there's security guards and golf carts. They had golf carts, right? And walkie-talkies, and there wasn't a whole lot of them. There was like maybe 4, 5, 6 of them. But to get on and off campus, without walking by one, basically you had a few options, and the best way, but it was the funniest, and it was probably the easiest way to get off without being identified, is to sprint across the football field, right? So you have 100-yard fucking dash, more than that, right? 150 yards, right, with the end zones and whatnot, from the fucking concrete where everybody's sitting all the way through the football field, and then you had to jump a gate that was probably, I don't know, 6, 7 feet tall. No, it was more than 6 feet tall, because you had to climb it. It was, let's say 7 or 8 feet tall. Yeah, and you had to jump that. So you go, and one guy, high as fucking acid, be running his balls up. He's like, I'm leaving. I'm not doing this, man. We all be just laughing at him. Ha ha. He's like, I'm fucking leaving. And he just start running, full sprint, 100 yards, right? And then you see, because the security guards waited, man. It was like, you know how like Discovery Channel, whatnot, or Animal Channel, you know, and the gazelles try to run across the lake, and the alligators are just sitting there waiting, right? Alligators know the gazelles are coming. They know they're gonna run, so they're just gonna sit there and pick them off, right? And sure as shit, man, you know, some guy'd make it about 30, 40, 50 yards. You know, if you can make it halfway, you're probably, unless you trip and fall, you're probably gonna be okay. But yeah, right around 30, 40 yards, man, here comes a golf cart out of nowhere. You know, hiding behind a bush or something, fucking hauling ass after this. Some guy, high as fuck on acid, running a 100-yard dash for the first time. I remember this guy named Danny, and he was kind of fat, you know, but he loved his acid, man, and he was running, but he couldn't run very fast, man. So picture a fat kid trying to do a 100-yard dash, high as fuck on acid. He's already scared because of the acid. Now he's got security guards chasing his ass, right? Knowing that he's gonna get detention if he gets caught. But he's high on acid. Now he's extra scared, and security guards with their megaphones, hey, stop, hey, I know who you are, Danny. You know, or talking shit, right? Because they knew who we were, right? Yeah, and then he's too fat to get over the gate. Like, he could, but he's slow, you know what I mean? And he's high. That doesn't help either. And he's fat, you know what I mean? All these, the combination of all this shit. I felt bad for the guy, man, but yeah, man, you know, so they snatched him up, you know. We did this almost every fucking week for that year. Almost every week. There's a couple weeks we didn't do it because a couple of us got busted or whatever, but, you know, for trying to get off campus or whatever the case was, right? Or I might have been out or whatever. But, man, those were fucking good times, man. You know, I remember just that was fun, just being able to trip in fucking class and, like, the people that, you know, that you saw every day who'd never seen you fucking high, you know, and be sitting next to them and shit, you know, and, like, fucking the teachers and shit. Everything just was more interesting, right? But, yeah, fuck, man, like, PE was fucking fun. I mean, just the shit that was so fucking boring, so lame, so monotonous, just so fucking intolerable in high school. Like, the acid made it just fucking that much better. It did. I mean, again, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to do that today. Well, you know, maybe I could. I don't fucking know. I wouldn't want to. I don't think I would try. But back then it was like a challenge, you know. And when we would get off campus, right, then we'd have to cut through some apartment complexes because these security guards would leave campus. They didn't have to stay on campus. And they'd get in their own personal cars and drive down the main street looking for your ass, right? So once you got off campus, you weren't in the clear, right? And then back then, I don't know if they still do it, there were cops. The cops, these truancy cops, man, and that's what they did is they cruised around these fucking high schools and looked for people. Like, maybe they talked to security, I don't fucking know, man, but I mean, it wasn't too high tech back then, man, but yeah, I don't even think we had cell phones back then. No, we didn't. This is back in early 90s. No, we didn't have cell phones. But anyway, yeah, I don't know, somehow they would, so you had to watch out for the cops, and you had to watch out for security. And they could be in plain cars, too, so you had to stay off the main roads, man, so we have to cut through apartment complexes, high as fuck on acid. 3 or 4 of us usually. Cut through these apartment complexes, we get distracted and end up sitting in a fucking swimming pool. It's, you know, Phoenix, Arizona, man. The swimming pools everywhere. People's, you know, every apartment complex has them, even ghetto ones. You know, it was just a blast. I had such a good time back then, man. You know, we'd meet up with somebody or something would happen, you know, and somebody would get in trouble or somebody would freak out or we'd go into a store. It was just the weirdest thing. It was, we had a great time though. It was definitely fun, and yeah. I lived in a house and we had a big pool, and we go back there, and remember we used to get up on the roof high on acid in my house and jump off into the swimming pool. That was fun, man. I remember my mom had like this maid. Yeah, she's like a live-in like nanny maid because she took care of my little sister at the time was a baby. And my mom's disabled, so she had a hard time with the baby. Anyway, yeah, it was